The subtraction problem we're solving is 323 minus 177. To estimate, I'm going to use the front end method. This way, I will take 300 minus 100, which equals 200. This is an overestimate. The estimate will actually be lower due to the trades we have to make later on. My final estimate is that it'll be less than 200. To solve this concretely, I will be using base 10 blocks. The first row shows 323 and the second row shows 177. To begin, I will be crossing out one flat from each place to represent the subtraction of 3 minus 1. Then, since the tens place has a lower place value on the top, we will need to make a trade. I will trade one flat for 10 long blocks. I will then subtract the 7 that I need. I then had to do the same thing for the ones place value, trading one long for 10 cubes. I could then subtract the 7 again. In the end, I have one flat, 4 long, and 6 cubes, making the answer 146. To solve it pictorially, I am drawing out base 10 blocks. The first row shows 323 and the second row shows 177. To begin, I will cross out one flat from each place to represent the subtraction of 3 minus 1. Then, since the tens place has a lower place value on the top, we will need to make a trade. I will trade one flat for 10 long blocks. I will then be able to subtract the 7 that I need to. I then have to do the same thing for the ones place value, trading one long for 10 cubes. I can then subtract the 7 that I need to. In the end, I will have one flat, 4 long, and 6 cubes remaining, making the answer 146 yet again. To solve it symbolically, we start by taking 300 minus 100. That leaves us with 200. We then move on to the tens place value, taking 20 minus 70. At this point, we must make a trade. We take 100 from the 200, making it 120 minus 70, leaving us now with 50. We can now move on to the ones place value, taking 3 minus 7. Once again, we must make a trade, borrowing 10 from the 50, leaving us with 40. We can then make it 10 plus 3 minus 7. That leaves us with 6. From there, we combine our totals, so we have 100 plus 40 plus 6, making the answer 146. Lastly, the personal strategy I chose to use for this problem was subtracting by counting up and making a timeline. I first start at 177, which is the number that we are supposed to subtract. From there, I know I can add 23 in order to make it 200. From there, I added another 100 to make it to 300. From 300, I added 20 to make it to 320, and then from there, I added 3 more to get to the total number that we needed, 323. To sum it up, I had 177 plus 23 equaling 200. I then added 200 plus 100 to make 300. From there, I had 300 plus 20 to make 320, and then I added 3 more to make 323. You then will need to take the sum of all the second column digits. I did 100 plus 23, making it 123. I then added 20 to make it 143, and then added the last 3 left over, making it 146. 146 is the final answer. To conclude, my prediction was 200 as an overestimate, and the answer was 146. Therefore, I believe my prediction was accurate, as I knew it was going to be more than the actual answer.